Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to my fitness page. I was thinking last night about a care plan meeting that I'm having today for my mom, and we do it quarterly. So she's in a facility, and for those of you who don't know, I know most of you know because I always talk about her, is that my mom has Alzheimer's. And so John and I moved her up from Florida a few years back, and that's when this whole craziness started. It's all calmed down, but I'm going to give you a little background. So a few years ago, John and I moved her up from Florida. We went down there and brought her back, and then went back a few months later, closed up the house, and this was all on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we did that. She lived with us for a while, and we found her an independent living facility. So she was in there for about a year. Loved it. It was a fantastic place. We just loved it. We loved the people there. They were awesome, and they treated her so good. They treated us good. And after a year, we had to find her someplace else to go because financially, she was running out of money. And from what we had heard, most of these facilities, they want a year's prepaid, and they want it to come from private funds. But in order for her to move someplace, she had to have that year, and then she would apply for Medicaid, and then she would go on state. So she had just enough left for a year. So we had to move her out and move her to someplace else. She hated it there. It wasn't bad. It just, I had that gut feeling, but I didn't follow it, and I should have. So anyhow, she moved in there, and she had a year's worth of money, and we were going to apply for Medicaid. So last August, I was about 2 weeks from getting ready to apply, because you have to make sure you have only a certain amount of money when you apply for this Medicaid. So I'm about 2 weeks out, and I get a call at work. We're kicking your mom out today. Okay, now there were events that led up to this, but it wasn't warranted. There was no reason, really. It's something that could have been worked out, but at that point, the owner wanted her out. Just that day, they decided. So here's John and I and my mom. She has no money to go anyplace else. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. She had very little left, but she couldn't really go anyplace else as a private pay because she didn't have a year, and we didn't know what to do. So we ended up, I called an attorney, blah, blah, blah. They have to find her a bed. Don't go and pick her up. Otherwise, it's going to be your responsibility and all this stuff. So I listened to the attorney, and he's awesome. Always has given us great advice. So they ended up moving her out on us and into, she went to the emergency room, and then they sent her to a psych ward. If you don't think those places exist like you see on TV, well, there's reality out there, and they do. And that's where they moved her. So naturally, they moved her there for a reason, because they knew that when John and I went there, we weren't going to leave her there. This was not the place for her. Even the doctor said to us, "Why is she here? She doesn't belong here. She can't stay here." Anyhow, long story short, she moves back in with us. We find a place for her. They're great. They're willing to work with us, and that's where she is now. So that's where my care plan meeting is going to be today. But a couple things. So at that point, I had been so frustrated and stressed out of my mind. I was stressing out John, stressing out my kids. I mean, everybody. It was like a freaking nightmare. So I started a caregiver page. So a lot of you, check in. I used to report about things and, how my mom was doing. I call her 90 because my kids call her 90. How she's doing, what happened, what problems I was having at the time, if she was going through changes, and I put it on that page. And it was great because I got so much support. My intention was to help people who are going through the same thing, who don't know what to do, because that's where John and I were at. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know which way was up. So I really wanted to help other people by doing that. And I don't know if I did, but people helped me. So it wasn't necessarily me getting out there, because I didn't really know what to do to kind of reach out and help people. So anyhow, what I'm coming to is that I received so much support on that page, and it was great, and it was a place where I could, give advice to people or tell them what I was going through so that they wouldn't have to go through that. There were things that you can do that you don't have to think that there's nobody out there going through the same thing, because there is. And I have to mention, through all this, I drank a lot of wine, but I also worked out. And the working out was my stress reliever. And it was the only thing that I had for me at the time. John was right by my side, and we did it together. But for me, it relieves my stress, and it helped me get through some pretty difficult times. And I won't discount my family, John and the girls, because they were amazing. My aunt and her family were just fantastic. So I did have family support. My dog is here. I did have family support, but internally, the working out helped me through a lot. And I still use that today for stress. So anyhow, my point is that I started this page. I've kind of been neglecting the other page. That's why I posted on there yesterday. So I've been starting this page for the same purpose, not because I want to force people to work out, but I want people to be healthy, and I want them to feel as good as John and I do. I feel great. I have a lot of energy. I swear to God, I'm 37 years old. There's no way I am 54. I'm 37, and that's how old I feel. Seriously. John jokes with me, and he said, what are you going to do someday when you wake up and you realize that you're 54? And I'm like, well, it's just never going to happen. Not going to happen. So I want this page to be the same thing as my caregiver page. I want people to post on here, because you're not only helping other people, you're helping me, and I want to be able to help you. So you might not be into working out, you might be into nutrition. Let's share recipes when you're stressed out, what you're doing for stress relief. For me, the working out helps immensely. But for you, it might be something else. Maybe you do yoga. I have a friend who does Tai Chi. So there's a whole bunch of avenues and stress relievers out there that a lot of people don't know about, that I'm hoping you'll bring to this page. So, and I may even start crossing the caregiver and this page. So if you ever hear me talking about 90, you're going to know that something happened at work, at her place or with her. Hopefully it's good. Maybe I should call this place, this website, Fitness Madness. I don't know, but I'm probably going to start crossing over just so I could give both the same amount of attention, because I really feel like the other page is important too, as important as this page. So anyhow, write to me, let me know how you're doing. So I will let you know how my care plan meeting goes. I'll post it on both pages today. Hopefully everything goes okay, and I have a couple issues that I'm going to deal with that I'll let you know, what happens or what they tell me about it. So have a great day, everybody. Bye.